Gentlemen Sigma warriors, welcome back to Official Sigma Male, the only channel that truly understands the depth and complexity of what it means to walk the Sigma path. Today, we're diving into a story that will fundamentally shift your perspective on Sigma male recognition and validation. This isn't just another surface-level analysis. This is the raw, unfiltered truth about how even the most skeptical observers eventually come to understand the undeniable power of authentic Sigma masculinity. If you've ever been misunderstood, labeled as antisocial, or dismissed by those who couldn't comprehend your strategic solitude, this video will validate everything you've experienced. We're about to explore the transformative moment when someone finally grasps what it truly means to be a real Sigma man, and why this recognition changes everything. Before we begin this journey, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Why? Because understanding Sigma male psychology isn't just entertainment, it's essential knowledge for navigating modern masculinity with confidence and purpose. The Sigma male community is growing, and you deserve to be part of this exclusive brotherhood that refuses to conform to society's limiting expectations. The moment of recognition. Sarah Martinez had always prided herself on reading people accurately. As a corporate psychologist, with 15 years of experience analyzing leadership patterns and personality types, she thought she understood the entire spectrum of male behavior. Alpha males were obvious, loud, dominant, always seeking the spotlight. Beta males were predictable, cooperative, follower-oriented, seeking approval from others. But Marcus Chen had been a puzzle that frustrated her analytical mind for months. Marcus worked in her office building, 3 floors above her consulting firm. She'd observed him during lunch breaks, elevator rides, and occasional company-wide meetings. He never joined group conversations, rarely spoke unless directly addressed, and seemed completely indifferent to the office politics that consumed most of their colleagues. Initially, Sarah categorized him as a beta male with social anxiety, someone who lacked confidence and avoided interaction out of fear. This assessment couldn't have been more wrong. The revelation began during a particularly chaotic morning when the building's main elevator broke down. While dozens of employees clustered around the remaining elevator, complaining and checking their phones frantically, Marcus simply walked to the stairwell without hesitation. Sarah, running late for an important client meeting, followed his lead. As they climbed the stairs together, Sarah expected awkward small talk or complaints about the inconvenience. Instead, Marcus maintained his steady pace, breathing controlled, completely unfazed by the situation. When she struggled with her heavy briefcase around the 7th floor, he didn't offer help, not out of rudeness, but because he somehow understood she valued her independence. This subtle recognition surprised her. "Most people get frustrated when their routine gets disrupted," Sarah commented, testing his response. Marcus glanced at her with eyes that held unexpected depth. "Frustration assumes you expect the world to conform to your schedule. I prefer to adapt rather than waste energy on things I can't control." That simple statement cracked something open in Sarah's understanding. This wasn't social anxiety or lack of confidence. This was strategic emotional regulation. Marcus wasn't avoiding social interaction because he feared it. He was choosing when and how to engage based on his own internal compass rather than external pressure. Over the following weeks, Sarah began observing Marcus with new eyes. She noticed how other employees naturally deferred to his quiet authority during group projects, despite him never demanding leadership. She watched how he solved complex problems methodically while others panicked. Most intriguingly, she observed how he maintained his principles even when it would have been easier to compromise. During a heated debate about company restructuring, while alpha personalities shouted over each other and beta employees nodded, along with whoever spoke loudest, Marcus remained silent until directly asked for his opinion. When he finally spoke, his analysis was so clear and well-reasoned that the entire room fell silent. He presented his perspective without trying to convince anyone, stated his position without attacking others, and then stepped back, allowing others to make their own decisions. This behavior pattern defied everything Sarah thought she knew about workplace dynamics. Marcus exercised influence without seeking power, commanded respect without demanding it, and maintained his autonomy without isolating himself from meaningful connections. He was operating from an entirely different paradigm, one that prioritized internal validation over external approval, strategic thinking over reactive responses, and authentic self-expression over social conformity. The moment of true recognition came during the company holiday party. While most employees either worked the room aggressively or huddled in safe social clusters, Marcus stood near the window, observing the city skyline. Sarah approached him, genuinely curious about his perspective. "Do you ever feel like you're missing out?" she asked, gesturing toward the networking chaos behind them. Marcus smiled, not the practiced social smile she was used to seeing from colleagues, but something genuinely amused. "Missing out on what? Pretending to enjoy conversations I don't value to impress people whose opinions don't matter to me? I'd rather have one authentic interaction than 50 superficial ones." In that moment, Sarah finally understood. Marcus wasn't antisocial. He was selectively social. He wasn't lacking confidence. He was so secure in his identity that he didn't need constant validation. He wasn't avoiding responsibility. He was choosing his battles strategically. This was Sigma male behavior in its purest form. The rare individual who creates his own path, operates by his own rules, and maintains his authenticity regardless of social pressure. The silent authority. 3 months after the holiday party. Revelation. Sarah witnessed Marcus demonstrate Sigma leadership during a company crisis. When their biggest client threatened to terminate their contract, chaos erupted in the boardroom. Alpha executives shouted competing strategies, while beta employees frantically took notes, hoping to align with whoever emerged victorious. Marcus remained silent for 20 minutes, absorbing information. When the CEO finally asked for his input, Marcus calmly presented a 3-point solution that addressed the client's core concerns while protecting the company's interests. He didn't raise his voice, didn't interrupt others, and didn't take credit for previous ideas. He simply offered clarity in the midst of confusion. The most remarkable aspect wasn't his solution. It was how the room responded. Gradually, conversations stopped. All eyes turned to Marcus as he spoke with quiet conviction. His confidence wasn't performative. It emerged from genuine competence and strategic thinking. Within minutes, the entire leadership team was building upon his framework. This was Sigma authority in action. Influence without manipulation, leadership without dominance, respect earned through substance rather than swagger. The selective social circle. Sarah began noticing Marcus's social patterns extended beyond work. While most colleagues collected hundreds of social media connections and attended every networking event, Marcus maintained a small, carefully curated circle of relationships. His friendships weren't based on convenience or professional advantage. They were built on mutual respect and shared values. During a chance encounter at a bookstore, Sarah observed Marcus having coffee with an elderly man who turned out to be his former philosophy professor. Their conversation was deep, intellectual, and completely devoid of small talk. Marcus listened intently, asked thoughtful questions, and shared insights that revealed his continuous pursuit of knowledge and personal growth. This selective approach to relationships reflected Sigma wisdom: quality over quantity, depth over breadth, authenticity over popularity. Marcus understood that meaningful connections require energy and attention, resources too valuable to waste on superficial interactions. His social circle might be smaller, but the relationships within it were profound and mutually enriching. The financial independence strategy. Sarah's understanding deepened when she discovered Marcus's approach to financial freedom. Unlike his colleagues who constantly discussed expensive purchases, luxury vacations, and status symbols, Marcus lived with intentional minimalism. His apartment was sparse but thoughtfully arranged, containing only items that served a purpose or brought genuine satisfaction. This wasn't poverty or lack of ambition, it was strategic resource allocation. Marcus had been investing consistently for years, building wealth quietly, while others accumulated debt to maintain appearances. He drove a reliable used car while colleagues financed luxury vehicles they couldn't afford. He cooked most meals at home, while others spent fortunes on restaurant dining to maintain their social image. His financial independence wasn't just about money, it was about freedom. Freedom to make career decisions based on fulfillment rather than desperation. Freedom to walk away from toxic situations without fear. Freedom to pursue his interests without seeking permission from creditors or employers. This financial wisdom exemplified Sigma thinking: long-term strategic planning over short-term gratification, substance over appearance, true security over the illusion of success. The emotional mastery. The most impressive aspect of Marcus's Sigma nature revealed itself during a particularly stressful period when layoffs threatened the entire department. While colleagues oscillated between panic and false optimism, Marcus maintained his emotional equilibrium. He prepared for multiple scenarios without becoming consumed by anxiety about outcomes he couldn't control. Sarah watched him navigate office politics with surgical precision. When rumors spread and factions formed, Marcus refused to participate in gossip or alliance building. He focused on his work quality and maintained professional relationships with everyone, regardless of their political positions. This emotional detachment wasn't coldness, it was wisdom. When the layoffs were announced and several popular employees were terminated, Marcus's position remained secure. His value to the company wasn't tied to relationships or office popularity. It was based on consistent performance and strategic thinking. His emotional mastery had protected him from the chaos that destroyed others. The rejection of validation. Sarah's final revelation came when Marcus was offered a promotion to department head. The position included a corner office, substantial salary increase, and public recognition. To everyone's shock, Marcus declined. His reasoning revealed the core of Sigma philosophy. I measure success by personal fulfillment, not corporate titles. Marcus understood that accepting the promotion would compromise his autonomy. He'd become trapped in meetings, politics, and managing personalities instead of focusing on meaningful work. While others saw rejection of status as career suicide, Marcus saw it as protecting his true values. This decision crystallized Sarah's understanding. Sigma males create their own definitions of success rather than accepting society's predetermined metrics. The inner circle discovery. During a chance weekend encounter, Sarah discovered Marcus mentoring a troubled teenager from his neighborhood. This quiet act of service revealed another Sigma dimension: purposeful impact without recognition. Marcus invested time helping someone who couldn't advance his career or social status. He did it because it aligned with his values. The teenager, initially resistant and angry, gradually responded to Marcus's consistent presence and genuine interest. Marcus didn't try to be a father figure or authority. He simply offered guidance and support without expectations. This relationship demonstrated Sigma influence at its purest. Transformation through authentic connection rather than dominance or manipulation. The complete understanding. Months later, Sarah realized Marcus had fundamentally changed her perspective on masculinity. She began recognizing Sigma traits in other men she'd previously misunderstood. The quiet ones weren't necessarily weak. They might be strategically selective. The independent ones weren't antisocial. They might be authentically self-sufficient. Marcus represented a masculinity that didn't need external validation, didn't fear solitude, and didn't compromise core values for social acceptance. He was complete within himself, while remaining capable of deep connection with those who earned his respect. Sarah's journey from misunderstanding to recognition reflected a broader truth. Sigma males are often invisible until someone develops the wisdom to see beyond surface behaviors and recognize the strategic depth beneath. Brothers, Sarah's transformation from skeptic to understanding represents every Sigma male's experience with recognition. We're often misunderstood because we operate outside conventional frameworks, but those with wisdom eventually see our strategic thinking, emotional mastery, and authentic confidence. Subscribe to Official Sigma Male because we're the only channel that truly understands your journey. We celebrate the men who choose substance over style, depth over display, and authenticity over approval. Your Sigma nature isn't a flaw to fix, it's a strength to cultivate. Stay strong, stay strategic, and remember, the right people will recognize your value when they're ready to. See beyond society's superficial expectations.